Do we have quorum? Angela, we have quorum. Okay, that's awesome. Before we get started, yes, great job, guys. Everybody clap for that one. I love to hear that. Before we get started, I want to have a couple of words. Tonight, we're here for 106, House District 106. And this is a time when you get to have your voice and you get to speak. This is very important. It's something I truly believe in, that we have a vote. We have a voice in this district. So I expect you to be respectful, to be honest. I want to hear the honesty here, but I want to see us be in unity as well. We can differ on what we think with this particular resolution, but we always need to know that we're fighting for a bigger cause, and that is to protect our district, to protect our state. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready for new business. Before we do, I wanted to thank a few people before I get going. I'm ready to get this over. Oh yes, would y'all silence your cell phones? I'm hearing ding-dongs going off all over the place. I do like the noise. It is kind of cool to see how people use different ringers, but let's try to focus tonight. I do want to thank a few people. We were not going to have a meal tonight, and Nancy, where are you? Can you stand up? I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Nancy said, oh, no, we're going to have a meal, and she brought pizza, and I want to thank you. Now, there were some people that were bringing desserts. So if you brought desserts or water, would you please stand? Desserts or water? This is called community, and I love it. So tonight, we're going to get started with new business. Right now, we're going to call up Jackie Waken.
Jackie Waken, precinct, turn it on, hold on 1 second. Jackie Waken, precinct 2080. Madam Chair, are we going to see that?
Yes, we will. Can you put the resolution up, sir?
Madam Chair, I move the adoption of the resolution relating to the censure of Representative Jared Patterson, HD106, which I have sent to the chair as of August 20th. Madam Chair, I would first like to make a few minor changes that have already been changed on the screen. One is paragraph number 4. The second line should read, record vote number 4 should read record vote number 9, which has already been fixed. In paragraph number 10, on April 28th, it should read May 28th instead of April 28th.
Because Jackie is the author, it is in order per Robert's rule to make the minor changes. I will tell you that tonight I will not listen to anyone who speaks unless they come up to the mic. You have to come to the mic in order for me to recognize you. Please give your name and give your precinct.
David Wiley, 4198. Were we to adopt any supplemental rules for the proceedings here this evening?
Thank you, sir. Yes, we are going to adopt. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to adopt the supplemental rules so moved second, or that we have sent out in the email? Has everybody read the supplemental rules that you've gotten? Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt? Thank you, sir. Second. Thank you. Lots of seconds. Okay, everybody just third, fourth, fifth. I'm loving this. Okay, so we have adopted those. And so right now, Jackie has finished. Do we have any? State your name and your precinct.
2068.
Thank
We
you.
do need to have a vote to adopt
Can't hear you,
them.
Bob.
We do need to have a vote to adopt them. Just a motion and second doesn't mean they're.
Okay. We are fixing to have a vote to adopt them. So, do we have to adopt them since it is? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those who are not in favor say nay.
Nay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay, so right now we have seen the resolution. Everybody has them. They've read them. We have them on the, up here. Is there any debate? Does anybody? Oh, you're right. We are going to allow the representative who is here for Jared Patterson to speak first, and then we'll be able to debate afterwards. So I would like for the representative who is speaking on behalf of Jared Patterson to come forward. And you will have 15 minutes to speak. So we'll set a... You want to turn around and do it from like right here? Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah. Don't. You're right.
Can everyone hear me okay? No.
I'd raise it up a little bit.
No, hold on.
He has to speak to me. Remember that when they speak, they have to speak to the chair. So, yeah.
Tell me when.
He's just tall. We're going to raise it up.
Is this better for everyone?
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well-
You wanted to record, so give us
No,
just a
sure,
second if you don't mind.
absolutely. I'm gonna put my timer on real quick so I don't go over my 15 minutes.
I'll remind you.
Oh, thank you very
We
much.
have you timed.
Oh, perfect. My name is Mitch Carney. I work for Jared Patterson. I work on his campaign. I manage the campaign. I run his operations. I have worked in Republican politics since 2013. My first job was with the state party as a regional director down in South Texas. I worked for Steve Ministeri. After that, I was also the political director at the state party under James Dickey and then Alan West at the same time. I'm pretty comfortable with the state party rules. I've been here a long time and want to say first and foremost, I think what you all do here is very important, and the fact that everyone came here today and took time out of their busy day to talk about this, I think is what makes the party great.
Amen.
Having volunteers coming out and doing this is a fantastic example of how this all works, and I appreciate the opportunity to address the group. I have a letter, some notes that Representative Patterson wanted to be here tonight. He had a family commitment, wasn't able to make it. So I have a few notes for Jared that I will read out, and then a couple more points that we'd like to make on his behalf. First and foremost, thank you for your service to the Republican Party of Texas. As a former precinct chair, I fully understand the dedication and the commitment required to grow the party and to get our candidates elected. Recently, I was sent notice of a censure resolution against me that will be heard on September 4th at a CEC meeting in Denton. The party has graciously offered me 15 minutes to explain the 11 votes, and I want to send along some other basic information you only need to know in advance of the meeting. This was also mailed to all the precinct chairs with a couple other bullet points and memos, so if you guys didn't receive it ahead of time, you will receive it in the next couple days. President Ronald Reagan famously said, "The person who agrees with you 80% of the time is a friend, an ally, not a 20% traitor." I am a 2% traitor. Of the 4,212 votes, record votes I took during the 89th legislative session, I've been notified of just 11 disagreements. If the censure was about my voting record, which is one of the most conservative in the Texas House, there would be other members who would also be facing similar censures in Denton County. A Rule 44 censure is cited as an appropriate for 3 or more actions in opposition to party principles or priorities. Though I disagree that my votes are in opposition to the Republican Party platform or principles, I believe that we should discuss the consistency, and is a very important part in this discussion. A couple bullet points. The Republican Party of Texas met recently to examine a voting record and did not find a single policy disagreement of my voting record to deem censurable. Rule 44 requires 3 or more actions for censure. By that measure, and by the policy outlined in the notice given to the representative for the bills that he is being censured for, Reps. Ben Baumgardner voted for 6 of them. Reps. Mitch Little voted for 4 of them. Senators Tan Parker and Brett Hockenboo voted for 3 of them. They would all meet the same threshold, and therefore should also be receiving censures. The The votes that I am being censured for are also votes that Republicans across the state also took. I believe that selective enforcement of this censure weakens the credibility of the resolution and the credibility of the county party. Furthermore, Texas election law does not allow a censure to remove anyone from the ballot. The Constitution and Election Code set eligibility. The Texas Supreme Court also reaffirmed in Reed Morris 2024 the party officials cannot add new barriers. I have enclosed additional information outlining the Texas election law and bullet points and details on why I believe that these censure bullet points, these policies are incorrect. A resolution is a serious matter and should be based on clear and consistent standards applied fairly to all members, not selectively enforced. Please know that I will also be making sure that I will use all active, Please understand that I will use all options under the law to ensure that I am not unlawfully removed from the ballot. And I will absolutely pursue every legal option afforded to me under the law. Again, I thank you for your tireless efforts on behalf of the Denton County Republican Party. Though we may disagree from time to time, I am proud to be a representative born at the grassroots of the Republican Party, and I look forward to continuing to fight for our shared principles in the years to come. Thank you. For Texas, Representative Jared Patterson. So that's the note. Representative Patterson sent that letter out to everyone. He also enclosed some bullet points about election law that I mentioned, his reference to not being removed from the ballot. So he has sent that to all the precinct chairs in 106, so everyone should be receiving that. I want to just highlight a couple notes from Representative Patterson's position. The representative's office, Representative Patterson has gone through all of the censure votes that everyone has been sent to him. I think that a censure, from everything I've been told at my time at the party, plus everything I've seen on social media and what every grassroots activist and precinct chair has told me, is the most serious action a county party can take. And I agree. There is a level of which the people in the district, whether it's in House district or the county, need to rise up and say something's wrong. These issues, as presented by the Denton County Party, raise serious concerns. If these concerns are as serious that deserve a censure of Representative Patterson, then by the same merit, these other representatives would be censured. However, that is not the case. What would look like from the outside, as I have not been in the meeting and I'm not knowledgeable of discussions that were had, would be that what it would look like to the untrained eye is that this censure is being squarely put on Jared because of personality differences. People don't like Jared. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a hard thing to believe. These type of things, especially politics, make people very passionate. And I think there is something to be said about treating people with respect and treating people the way you want to be treated.
Amen.
Now, I will say this. I would not have come up here today if I did not have bullet points and facts and figures on why I don't believe these bills are censurable offense. The state party has also ruled that these censurable offenses, he only has one strike. And to his point in his letter, it's not based on policy. So, at the very, very best, we have a miscommunication and a difference in agreement on how to apply these. And at the very, very best, the Denton County GOP is trying to censure Jared because they don't like him, not because of his policy positions. We're talking about Jared Patterson, who has also filed legislation to remove taxpayer-funded lobbying. We have Jared Patterson, the same representative who has fought to keep smut and explicit material out of schools. The same Jared Patterson who has voted to make sure that teachers and those who hide behind bureaucratic red tape are held accountable for the sexualization of our kids. there are a couple things in here that I think we would disagree with. And so there are a couple points here that I know we've made a correction to the points. There are a couple things I'd like to highlight. The bullet point talking about Texas is not for sale, where Representative Patterson, SB 17, is in violation of Legislative Priority 7, Texas is not for sale. Preserving, which is Principle 3, preserving individual Texans and American sovereignty and freedoms. I disagree with this. The SREC did not find that Rep. Patterson violated these. Rather, the SREC praised his sponsorship of the bill and its legislation. The amendment in question stated that no illegals from a hostile foreign country such as China are permitted to buy land in the United States. Texas passed the strongest and has passed and currently has the strongest foreign land protection bill in the nation, which is a resolution fails to state was Rep. Patterson's bill. The resolution also states that one of Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's priority bills, SB 22 and SB 1, the budget, violates the principles of the party. SB 22 incentivizes moving film production from California to Texas, which a lot of the grassroots and precinct chairs felt was not a good use. What the resolution fails to mention and was not brought up is that Rep. Patterson had an amendment that would have cut all of that by half. Now, it did not pass, but Representative Patterson, in a lot of these cases, did fight to reduce the cost or fight on some of these bills that these resolutions don't necessarily mention. I understand that there's a lot of personality disagreements. All of these can be made available to everybody. But the fact remains, if these are as serious an issue as everyone says they are, then they should be fairly applied to every single person. And the question is, how serious are they? And if they aren't serious, then why are we censuring Representative Patterson? If we don't like Representative Patterson for personality differences, then you should feel free to censure him for that. But this is a pretty significant step for a county party to take, to put all of your names on a document, knowing that there is legitimate discussion to be had, that the SREC already found that these were not censurable offenses, and we are going to move forward in a process that will not keep Jared Patterson off the ballot. So that is the discussion we're having today. And I do think that it should garner more attention and discussion with Representative Patterson and with precinct chairs, because I believe a lot of people today are going to have to come up and vote on something and vote on these issues that I think there is enough disagreement and there's probably enough scrutiny to have where we could go through all of these amendment by amendment and find representatives that we do like personally have voted for the exact same things. And I think that in itself requires probably more conversation and more discussion. That's our position. I think consistency is the name of the game. I think serious political organizations like the state party and the county party need to be consistent in their rules. They need to be consistent in the resolutions they pass. I think they need to have consistent markers of success. If we say this is what a true Republican does, X, Y, and Z, and then after the fact move the goalposts or nitpick and change the standards of which we decide success, we are never going to be able to be successful. It will be impossible for us to say this is the standard that we hold people, because rules for thee do not apply to me. And I know that's not what grassroots stands for. I know that's not what county chairs and county parties agree on. And so I'm just pointing out from a outside version, this is my opinion. I think we've gone through these. I think we have a very solid argument for it. And I think if there are discussions to censure Jared for other issues that have more to do with personality than substance, that is your prerogative, and you all should feel free to do that. But these issues that you're talking about right now, I think there's enough, as I mentioned before, I think there's enough question to be had about if these are substantial reasons to have something that is as serious as a censure happen today. So that's my conversation. Those are my thoughts.
Thank you.
Those are Representative Patterson's thoughts. And I have 1:30 left, and so I just wanted to thank you very much for the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the precinct chairs, and I hope you all have a good night. I'll be over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we are going to move, okay, we are going to debate in public here. So anybody has, sorry, I'm out of order. Is there anyone who would like to, we have 3 for, and 3 against. Would anybody like to come up, and do you have a comment? Oh yes, it has to be from HD106. Sorry, tonight is all about HD106. Sorry, no one else can have a for or against. The debate will just be within our own district. So, please state your name and your precinct.
Dr. Jennifer White, Precinct 1024. I'm speaking for the resolution. I'm speaking on the violation that is most egregious and personally offensive to me. Whereas on January 25th, 2025, Representative Jared Patterson motioned for the previous question on adoption of H.R. 4, introducing standing committees chaired by the minority party, and therefore ending debate, making it impossible to amend H.R. 4 to remove the rule. This action is in direct opposition to legislative priority number 4, no Democrat chairs. Representative Patterson has consistently helped and promoted the policy of giving Democrats leadership positions in the Texas House. At a meeting of the precinct chairs in his office during the 88th legislative session, he defended having Democrats in leadership by telling us, "This is just how the House works." I'm so tired of my elected officials who tell me that this is just how the House works and that I don't understand. I want a representative who will stand up for my priorities, not go along with the status quo. When it came time to vote on the rules package this session, House leadership presented a rules package that mandated that every committee must have a Democrat vice chair. Representative Patterson knew that there would be amendments proposed to remove the mandated Democrat chairmanship positions. When Representative Patterson called the question, thus ending the debate and forcing a vote on the rules package as is, he went against the intent of our priority, which is no Democrats in leadership. His action was in direct opposition to the party priorities and personally offensive to those of us who spent countless hours and time in Austin advocating for no Democrat chairs. When I asked him why he called the question, he answered, "Because we had the votes, and it saved me from making bad votes that would end up on a mailer against me in my district." He would not elaborate on what those votes are, but I think we can all assume. Ultimately, the rules package passed, and this is why we now have more Democrats in leadership positions in the Texas House. Representative Patterson will tell you that vice chairmanships are symbolic only and did not affect legislation. I guess we'll never know how many more conservative bills might have passed out of the House without Democrat leadership. What it did do was it elevated their status and gave them more money and staffing to advocate Democratic policies. So my question is, in the era of Trump, why would anybody ever vote to empower Democrats, violate the party priorities, and expect not to be censured by his constituents?
Okay, we have 1 for and 1 against.
Yes.
Perfect.
John Houghton, 1008, Pilot Point. I'm here to speak against the resolution, Madam Chair, and I'm speaking against it because I'm trying to take a perspective, a 30,000-foot perspective here. We talk about unity constantly. We prayed about it before we had the meeting tonight, and yet we keep doing things in our body that causes dissension within the body. Censuring Jared Patterson is probably one of the most, I would say, notorious of those things that we do to cause disunity within the party. And part of that is, Ronald Reagan, our patron saint, who said, if you're with me 80% of the time, you're my friend and an ally. I don't agree with everything Jared votes on. He knows my position on a number of the positions that he has held. However, he knows where the restrooms are. He knows how to get things done in Austin. He's passed a number of bills. He has authored and co-authored a number of bills, all of which we're happy as clams to have. And yet we're up here to censure him because he voted on some things that I would say with a little more conversation, we'd probably understand better. I think we need to turn good representatives loose on Austin to get things done for us. Representative Patterson has done that. I also think we're making a really classic mistake here. I think we've had a lot of success as a Republican Party over the past number of years. But I think it's a mistake to think that it's some of the crazy, ununifying things that are going on within the party and the dissension that is causing us to get there. That's not what's causing us to get there. It's that we have an opponent that is so out, the Democrats are so out of their mind. They're doing such stupid things. They're offending everybody in the country, and we're benefiting from that. But we're not at the same time putting together a party that when things change and the Democrats figure out what they're doing wrong, that we can actually go up against them, that we've actually coalesced a movement that can take this country and this state and this county where it needs to be. And so I'm speaking against the resolution. I think it's poison to the party. I think it just adds to more disunity. And I think if we're going to come together, we need to come together in word and in deed. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Are you for or against? We need 4.
4.
Okay, please state your name and your precinct.
I am Nancy Pontius, Precinct Chair of 1014. I'm speaking for the resolution. Whereas on January 14th, 2025, Representative Jared Patterson did not vote for the Republican Caucus nominee David Cook for Speaker of the House, but instead voted for Representative Dustin Burrows. A willful disregard for RPT Principle 5, personal accountability and responsibility, and a clear violation of the 2024 RPT platform wherein Republican members were to vote as a unified body for the caucus-elected speaker. Representative Patterson was part of a power play, joining with the Democrats to select the new Speaker of the House. Representative Patterson chose to leave the Republican caucus and did not vote for the caucus nominee for Speaker, going against the RPT platform. Instead, Representative Patterson voted with the Democrats for Burrows. By doing this, Representative Patterson clearly did not believe he was accountable to those of us who voted for him, and therefore he violated RPT Principle 5. And his actions have had major repercussions because the Speaker of the House has tremendous power over what the House does every single day of the regular session and the special sessions. So Representative Patterson helped to give Burrows power that regularly opposed major Republican priorities. For example, in this session, they expanded the Texas government and increased its budget over 40%, which all real Republicans oppose. I'm very concerned that although Representative Patterson was elected as a Republican, too often he does not act like one. Too many of his official actions fight against basic core principles of the RPT and our legislative priorities. And we, the PCs and constituents in House District 106, have been threatened and intimidated to vote against this resolution, but that just by itself is wrong and should be illegal. We need to courageously stand up and do what's right and vote for this resolution based on the facts.
We had 2 for, 1 against. Are you for or against?
I'm surprisingly against.
Okay. Go ahead and state your name and your precinct.
My name's Justin Harville, Precinct 1021. First of all, I want to say thank you, Melinda, and I love my Freedom Caucus brothers and sisters here. Appreciate all you guys. On this, I'm voting my conscience and on the merits of what is actually in the measure. I didn't look at anything outside of the measure. And my biggest concern is that I cannot disenfranchise even a single Republican primary voter. And So I took a deep dive. I read all the legislation. I reviewed every single vote in gross detail. And the context, I think, of the votes matters. But needless to say, I was not pleased with the tactics that they used in the speaker. It was not becoming. House rules, didn't agree with that either, but at the end of the day, 58% of the Republicans supported the call of previous question, and then 69% voted for it. That's 2/3 majority of the Republicans voted for it. HB 366, only 49% of the Republicans supported that one, and I think it was actually a good bill. I think the reason why it failed was Dade Phelan, and I can't argue with that. HB 104, Texas Future Fund, 64% of Republicans, almost 2/3 of the caucus, supported that measure as well. It's not a subsidy, it's an investment. And expected returns are overseen by an independent board. SB 17, the foreign land investments, 95% of Republicans supported that measure. And the Shaheen Amendment, I think, was the most divisive piece, but that was about individual home ownership for lawful residents of the United States. SB 1, the budget bill, 77, 86, and 72% of Republicans supported it. Every one of them, a 2/3 majority. So I can't, basically you're getting the picture that I can't really say that Jared acted alone in this. He's got, a lot of support. And so, my biggest concern, I said, is disenfranchising Republican voters. Jared voted with the majority of the Republicans on all but 2 of these measures. And then, much like a jury, we can only consider what's actually in the resolution. And I've got a funny story to tell about that at some point, because I disagreed and voted to let somebody off the hook. And I think the facts of these votes matter, the facts of these resolutions matter. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. We had 2 for, 2 against. Are you for or against?
I'm for.
State your name and your precinct.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Carol Adams, Precinct 2089, and I am speaking on Texas
What? Good catch.
Okay.
She used to be a pilot.
There we are.
Just saying.
I think we're good. Okay.
Lean in.
We can't hear you.
You need help?
There we are. I might need to lower it. I'm tall, but maybe not that tall. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I need to sing the song, "Here He Comes to Save the Day."
Yes.
Remember that one?
Okay, I'll kind of start from the top here. Carol Adams, Precinct 2089, and I'm speaking on the Texas Legislative Priority Number 7, Texas is not for sale. On May the 8th, 2025, Representative Patterson voted in favor of Amendment Number 4 on SB 17. This amendment weakened the bill and opened the door for Chinese nationals and other hostile foreign actors to purchase Texas land, even while entering the United States on foreign or on tourist visas. Representative Patterson's vote stands in direct opposition to legislative priority number 7. Texas is not for sale. It also violates RPT principle number 3, preserving individual, Texas, and American sovereignty and freedom. Foreign ownership, particularly by adversaries such as China, poses serious threats to our national security. Foreign entities have targeted land near military bases, nuclear facilities, water plants, and reservoirs, creating concerns about surveillance, interference, or sabotage. Also, it's a serious threat to our food security. Texas agricultural farmland is a vital national source. Allowing adversaries to own it could jeopardize our ability to feed our Texans and Texas and U.S. population. Also, it poses a serious threat to our critical infrastructure. Our energy grid, water systems, communication networks, airports, oil and gas refineries, and pipelines must remain secure. Any compromise would endanger our economic stability, public safety, and the health of Texans. It also poses a threat to our resource exploitation. Hostile nations should not be allowed to profit from our natural resources, such as oil and gas in the Permian Basin, which contributes significantly to U.S. national security by ensuring a secure, reliable energy supply, reducing dependence on foreign sources, supporting economic stability such as jobs, and providing resources for national defense and economic competitiveness. As a land and resource owner in West Texas, I cannot comprehend why our representative would vote to jeopardize our national and Texas security, food supply, or critical infrastructure by enabling hostile foreign ownership. Okay. Anyway, we must stand firm. Texas first, America first. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there any more debate? Please state your name and your precinct.
Britt Dean, 1019. I don't really have anything really long to say, so you don't even have to hold that up. But I just really think that for our party, as the Republican Party, to come in and censure our state rep or any of these other guys, I understand what we have to do here, and I'm fully aware of our voting power and what we are called to do. But I also think, and I'm not going to go back to the Ronald Reagan and the 80%, that kind of thing, because it's true. Everybody in this room that has voted against something or for something that didn't work out or wasn't right. But I also think that for us to come into this room, and if you really read that page, there's a lot of things on there that, one, I don't think are right, and two, I don't think are just in what we're doing. So I'm not going to belabor this. You guys have read it. You know what's going on there. But I think it's very disingenuous. I think it's disunifying. And I think it's going to hurt our party to continue with these kind of actions for somebody like Jared Patterson. No, he's not going to always vote just the way I want or you want or somebody else. But I can say one thing. He's been fighting for us for a long, long time. So don't forget the things from the past. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, so is there any more debate? We will move into executive session. What that means is for all of you guests, we're going to have you wait outside the door while we take care of party business. Thank you.
For the record, you stated we had a quorum, but what was the number?
She said it. Let me find out the number. I think it was.
If you would just announce it.
Yes.
Because it's math in my head.
Yeah, I know, and you're a mather. Let me find out. What was our number for quorum?
89. Quorum was 43.
We have 89. We had 89 here today, so we met quorum.
How many out of 106 again?
Out of 106, we had
36.
36. We had 89 here, 89 precincts. In 106, we had 36. That's going to tell us we need 2/3 of the vote out of 36. So somebody do the math in here.
24.
Yes, we need 24.
You want these ballots? Yes.
Okay, guys, I have the numbers. Drum roll. Anyway, for, we had 25, against 11, the motion wins. Jared Patterson has been censored. thank you guys for coming. I want to thank you guys for participating. We have a motion to adjourn? We will adjourn. Thank you guys. Have a great week.